5th. I think that's where I need how it is. With that being said, there'll be two opportunities for everyone to have a chance to speak tonight. One is in citizen comments, and Amy, if you would give me that, please. And the other one is at the end, and the last one is a citizen comment where you can ask a question about anything that you've heard here tonight for clarification. That's what that is for. With that being said, if you wish to stand, please do. I'm going to ask Paul Ellis to come and deliver our invocation. After that invocation, I'll ask Mr. Flanagan to lead us in the pledge. Please stand if you wish.
Good evening, Mayor Commissioners. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before your throne of grace, giving thanks for all the blessings you've given each of us. We thank you for our town and all the employees that work so hard to keep our town clean and safe. We thank you for our elected officials and pray they make decisions that are pleasing in your sight. Bless those people in our town that are sick and suffering. Put your healing hand upon them if it's your will. We pray this in your Son's holy name. Amen.
Mr. Flanagan.
We join in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have anybody? Okay. All right. That brings us down to I hope this is the last time I get to say this. It brings us down to the interim town manager's comments.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Good evening. Just a few things. Just a reminder that our September board meeting will be held as it annually is the final Monday in August. So our next meeting will be August the 25th. Just want to mention as well that registration for recreation programs for this fall are currently open. Softball, soccer, and t-ball registrations will close this Sunday, August the 10th. So if you know somebody that's going to register, be sure to have them register by this Sunday for those sports. Also wanted to mention as well, there's an event that will be coming up that's being co-sponsored by the Parks and Rec Department. It'll be this Saturday, August the 9th from 11 to 2 at the Athletic Complex in conjunction with Elevate. It is a back-to-school fun day. There'll be music, big blue blocks, water slide, and foam party, free lunch, gear giveaway, and a raffle as well. So that'll be this Saturday from 11 to 2 at the Athletic Complex. And then finally, I just want to make mention, I know we've had a lot of conversations about ADA over the last few weeks, and I just want to mention that myself and Wes Thomas, our Public Works Director, as well as Christopher Morgan, our Parks and Rec Director, we have a meeting scheduled with Casey Penland. He's the Regional Manager with Precision Infrastructure. He's going to be meeting with us on August the 19th. Our hope is that following this meeting, we will have an agreement in place in which we can begin work on an ADA transition plan. That's something we've been discussing for some time, but hopefully now we can go ahead and get started on that. Included with their services, they will also serve as the town's ADA coordinator as a part of that process. So our hope would be to have that finalized by the end of this month so that we can begin working on that very soon. But that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Mr. Oates?
Matt, what did you say an ADA this company was?
It's a Precision, I believe it's Precision International, I believe. We've used their sidewalk division previously when we've shaved down the sidewalks here in town to run those compliance. It's the same company that we use for that.
And they're out of Raleigh?
I believe they're out of Raleigh. I believe this gentleman may be out of an office at the Triad Westwood. Is their home base in Raleigh?
It's in Raleigh. It's Precision Infrastructure Management is the actual firm. And they're based out of Raleigh. Precision Infrastructure Management.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else? Just for the record, in this day and time, how do you address people? You call the world problem. I will try to address you as town manager. I will address you as Mr. Oates when it involves a dollar. Okay, fair enough. All right. With that being said, financial report board, you have that in your packet. Any questions? Amy's here. Or any questions about the financial report that you have? Okay. Seeing none, that brings us down to changes, additions, deletions to the agenda. Anybody have any changes? Any changes? Okay. This is not a change. This is a note for you, Mr. Oates. Please make a note that the principal Farmville High School will be put on the agenda for our August meeting. He's coming to share some great news with us. He wanted to be here tonight, but traffic and the board meeting, he could not be here. So if you would please him on the agenda for August, I would appreciate it. Okay? That brings us down to item H, which is the appointment of the town manager, and I'm assuming that that is on me. Board, we have gone through the process. We have gone through probably a very lengthy process, and we have decided, you have decided, to officially appoint Justin Oates, who has been serving as interim town manager. He's been the planning director, but has been serving as our interim town manager. And I am looking for a motion that we officially appoint him as town manager.
I make a motion that we officially appoint Justin Oates as town manager.
You've heard the motion from Commissioner Evans. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Oates, you are officially now town manager. Good luck and thank you for that. That brings us to the next item, which is a public hearing on a structure of demolition at 4153 Corbett Circle. Paul, I think you are the presenter on this. This is a public hearing. Everyone will have a chance to speak on this in just a moment, but the presenter will present, he'll ask any questions, and then we'll follow up with that. This is a public hearing. This public hearing is open.
I did put some pictures out. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but anyway, the property we're discussing tonight is located at Corbett Circle, Pitt County parcel 4701. Pitt County Opus has its property address as 4153 Corbett Circle. However, that structure was taken down several years ago, and at that time there were two structures on the same parcel. But anyway, it's on the parcel number 4701. The property's been vacant for several years. It's in poor condition. I sent a certified letter on April 7th of this year requesting assistance with entering the property to respect for unsafe, unsanitary conditions. I hand-delivered a copy of that letter to the owner at the April Board of Commissioners meeting. I explained to the owner that the town of Farmville was making attempts to improve the conditions of the Corbett Circle area. As you guys remember, this initiative was discussed at the 2024 Board of Commissioners retreat. Since that time, Public Works has had the street paved out there. I think that was last October, September, October. And other owners of the property in that area, excuse me, have been notified of the town's efforts to improve the area. The owner of the property did not accept the certified letter that was sent. After receiving the letter delivered by me at the Board of Commissioners meeting, the owner sent an email telling me that I was biased against properties held by melanated owners. As a follow-up email, the owner stated that she was an indigenous sovereign citizen and was not under any corporate jurisdiction or any of her properties. I was told not to trespass on any of her properties. Because of the hostility shown to me by the owner, I asked Chief Spencer to meet me at the site for when I had set up an inspection for that property. The owner did meet me at the property site on April 23rd, however, did not allow me to go inside to inspect the property. In fact, she would not allow me to own it. So the pictures you got were taken from outside of the room at the property line. I sent another certified letter on April 25th, 2025 to schedule a hearing concerning my findings from the inspection. This hearing was scheduled for May 14th. I asked the Chief of Police to deliver a copy of the letter to the owner. The owner refused to accept that letter from the chief as well. I sent another certified letter on May 15th, advising the owner that the structure must be brought to minimum highway standards or taken down within 30 days. Again, I asked Chief Spencer to attempt to hand deliver a copy to her. She refused. I sent another letter on June 18th to inform the owner that the matter would be placed on its board meeting. The Chief of Police again attempted to hand deliver that letter, and she refused. Also refusing all certified letters that were sent. As I stated earlier, the owner refused to my request to inspect the structure. I inspected the property from outside the property lines, as you can see there. I found the following items that need to be corrected. The broken windows, as you can see there, rod fascia board, damaged sidings. I suspect the electrical and plumbing systems need to be updated. I feel there is wood rot inside the building because of the broken windows and all the rain coming through the windows. It's overgrown weeds and grass. The picture that you're looking at was taken on April 23rd, so there's been a full 3 months of growth. And added to what you see there. At this time, staff is asking the board's approval to move forward with the condemnation process. And with the approval, the owner will be given 90 days to bring the property to Will Allen's or to remove the structure.
Anybody got any questions for Mr. Ellis? Okay, Paul, if you just sit right there, give me a minute. This is a public hearing, I now declare this public hearing open to anyone that would like to speak. I ask that you give your name and address so that we need to find you on the video, we'll be able to, okay?
This is A.C. Salam, owner of parcel 4701. The current structure on 4701 was designated 4137 Alpha Drive, and there is no structural damage to that property. Grass is not a valid excuse for demolishing someone else's property. Also, I'm not able to keep anybody out there to deal with the grass because they are afraid that they will be retaliated against by the town people because they are determined to take the structure down for no valid reason. The structure is structurally sound. There has been no weather coming into the building because I put up the windows that were broken have been covered by wood and plastic from the inside. So there has been no rain getting inside the structure. The structure is structurally sound. I do not trust the town to inspect. I will get a private inspector, and I let them know in the email that I sent him that when I'm able to get a tenancy for it, I will have a private inspection. But my structure is structurally sound. There is no wood rot. There is the structure. I'm in there regularly cleaning out the inside of the structure. The only thing is there's grass and stuff growing around it. I don't have the equipment to remove the grass. And when I try to get people to go out there, they are afraid that they will be retaliated against for trying to work with me. So I can't get anybody out there to handle the grass. But the building is structurally sound, and there's no valid reason for anyone to come after the structure.
Any questions before, I got one question. Any board member, anybody have a question? Just to be clear, are we talking about the same property?
Yes.
This is what we're talking about, okay. All right, thank you.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, Brooke. I'm sorry, I didn't see the hand, Mr. Smith.
I just decided at the last minute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If the structure is so good, why would you not let the town go out there and look at it?
Because I know that they don't give fair inspection. I've watched them give inspections to other people, and I know that public hearings inside of the private office is not a public hearing. I will have a private inspector. That way I can trust what the inspector says. I have watched over since 2007 to now how the inspections go and whose inspection goes which way. And the people who inspection goes the wrong way and their structure taken usually look like me. Whether it's intentional or subconscious, the pattern is clear and biased.
Anybody else got a question?
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
How long the construction down? Nobody's living in it.
No, nobody's been there in years.
Just to be clear, anybody else? Dr. Hobbs, anybody?
I think I do want to say something, because I'm hearing a conflict of interest. And I'm also hearing a difference of opinion. And to verify things, sometimes you need arbitration. And what's the due process for getting to what is real? What is the real issue? Because you got two conflicting issues going on. Is there
I need regular first off for it not to go before the planning board first. It did not.
Well, I'm gonna have to yield to someone on.
This is not a planning board issue, and
Come in, time out. I'm going to excuse AC, and then you can follow up. I've got to close the public hearing, Dr. Hobbs, before I can do it. I think
I
I'm
just
right.
want to make sure, due
Okay.
process is in.
I think we can do that.
Okay.
This evening. Good, okay, thank you.
Mayor, do you need to see if there are any other citizens?
I'm gonna do that. I thank you for reminding me. Anybody else that would like to speak on this matter concerning 4153 Pulpit Circle, parcel number 04701? Anybody? Seeing none. I now declare this public hearing closed. Mr. Ellis, you will come back and now field questions, starting with Dr. Hobbs.
Okay.
Okay? To let Dr. Hobbs restate the question.
My question is, has it been due process on both sides?
I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying, due process on both sides. There have been due process on my side. I have followed the town of Farmville ordinances. I followed the North Carolina State ordinances with the emails, with the certified mail sent to her. She refuses to take anything from any certified mail.
Let me clarify what I'm saying, because I feel like you did your due diligence to try to communicate with her. And we went way overboard for that. But I'm worried about this conflict of condition of the house, and someone needs to go in and verify that it is.
And I offered her the opportunity, when she sent her emails, and I think you were included on those emails, I told her that I needed to go inspect the house, and she was welcome to bring her own inspector out. I have no problem with that. She can bring her own inspector out there. Her contention is that she's gonna bring her inspector if and when she ever decides she's gonna rent the house. That's not the way we work.
No, it's a process.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody else got a question of Paul?
Make sure I understand
It's
the
very-
process. If we vote to proceed with condemnation, the property owner has 90 days to
90
bring the property
days to
up.
bring that property
So that's the due
to
process.
minimum housing standards, which is ample time to do it if they want to do it.
Mr. Flanagan?
That was my question.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Board? I think Commissioner Ellis's statement answers pretty much every question that could be posed here. What I need now is to approve the request to the demolition of this structure or deny. Is there a motion?
Mayor, may I interject?
Please.
The ordinance that is in the package does not give a specific street address. I understand what Paul said, that there may have been another structure on this property.
He gives it parcel.
Right. I think it would be helpful to also
And
give
and
a
that could be
street
addressed,
address.
that's not a problem. But I go by what Oprah's has on their address, and on the address that Oprah's has for is the address of the house that was torn down many, many years ago. So, but according to her, there's another address for this house. Oprah's is not showing up there.
I looked at the GIS has this as 4153 Court Circle.
Right.
So I would suggest that street number be added to the ordinance, so to be as specific as possible.
That's why Oprah says it is, I'm fine.
And that could show that is the number, the address that is on our paperwork here tonight. Okay. Now, if there's anything that you'd like to add to this, what, is there a motion? Motion.
I would like to make a motion that we proceed with the condemnation process, giving the property owner their legal right to bring the property up to standards in 90 days.
Board, you've heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Paul, thank you. That brings us down to items for consent. Board, you've had this in your book. You've had a chance to read over this. Is there a motion to approve the items for consent?
Make a motion to approve the items for consent.
Commissioner Smith has made a motion that we approve the items for consent. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Come on, here. That brings us down for the item for discussion and decision. Middle Swamp Sewer Outfall Relocation Recommendation Award from Perry Sons, Richmond, Georgia.
All right, Mr. Bond, and what I've got for you, this is our American Rescue Plan Act, $4.4 million grant that the town was awarded to existing 24-inch sewer outfall line that runs from the Johnsonville pump station all the way to US 258. And he went through the process, got our bid and design package approval, bid the project, had to bid it twice. Ralph Hodge Construction Company was our low bidder. They also happened to be our low bidder contracting firm that's going to work on the housing authority sewer project too. Their low bid was $4 million, $4,679,000, which exceeded our total available funds when you factor in all project expenses. So we entered into negotiations with Ralph Hodge Construction and have developed an award package that reduces the contracted value to $3,552,920. And that main change is the existing scope, again, brought the sewer under US 258, tied into an existing manhole. Somebody, if you're driving to Green County, you can see a manhole surrounded by water. That was where it was going to tie into. And the town has there's a 12-inch force main on that side of the highway that was creating some problems. So we're going to run the sewer line on 258 down the opposite side of the road, tie into the sewer line where it crosses 258. So, structurally, the scope stays the same. We just, move one side of move the sewer line to one side of the road, just to, make the scope work and give you plenty of contingency funds. So, we've got a balanced budget, no excess funds or no additional needed funds, and are ready to make a tentative award to Ralph Hodge Construction Company. We call it a tentative award because after the town board awards it, the state has to provide concurrence and issue a formal authority to award, just to verify that contractor is not debarred, prohibited from participating in federal and state activities, which is not a problem. So what I've got in your package is a copy of our recommendation of award letter, a draft resolution, amending the project budget based on an award of Ralph Hodge for a negotiated construction cost of $3,552,920, and tentatively awarding construction to them. A copy of the notice of award, a copy of the memorandum of negotiation that establishes the reduction to bring the project into balance, and a copy of the bid tabulation sheet so you can see the comparative prices between Ralph Hodge, TA11, we had one other, Besco, was the other company. So pleased that we're able to develop an award to get this thing moving forward, and we got a good contractor. He will do a good job, and they're ready to go to work, which is really good positive. So be glad to answer any questions, but what I'm looking for is consideration for approving a resolution to amend the project budget and tentatively award the construction to Ralph Hodge Construction Company.
Anybody have any questions of Rich?
How many jobs has Ralph Hodge Construction Company done for the town of Farmville?
The ones I know of, that they did the Basin 5 sanitary sewer project. I would say a really good project. And they also replaced all the sewer outfall that crosses Moy Turner Road, goes to the creek, all the way over to kind of Greenfield Heights. They did both of those sewer projects. And they've done a lot of storm sewer drainage repair projects. I would say smaller projects. Very good to work with, very fair in terms of compensation. No complaints, in terms of their construction practices or what went on, and that's a big plus, because, if they've had problems, they've addressed them and moved on. So, anytime I've got a deep sewer project, they are great to deal with. So they've done work here, and they've worked with your staff and are appreciative of your staff members too.
Anybody else?
I was just gonna say from my comment, when they did that work on Moy Turnage, I was the landowner when they did that work, and they did do a good job, and I'm glad to see us getting back.
Yeah, and that was a tough workplace too.
It was.
Anybody else have a question?
Is this route here on the map, is that the
route they're actually going
Yeah,
with?
there's just the sewer lines in the floodplain and the floodway along Middle Swan. And a couple of years ago, when we were doing the secondary electric feed to Johnsonville Pump Station, same principle to get the electric line out of the floodplain, we got an easement that allowed, and we made sure it was big enough so that we could put the sewer line in it. So for the purpose of this project, one is, we want to get rid of that old concrete pipe that's going through the swamp, but we also want to get it outside the floodplain so we can get to it. Because right now, if something happens, you can't, there's no way to get to it. I mean, it's surrounded by water. And so that's the other purpose of this thing is to replace and relocate. So it is going to be, moved, basically at the toe of the wooded area, right along the farm property that goes back there.
And right now, this project's about $900,000.
Yes.
Funds available.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Look at the motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the bid of Ralph Hodge Construction Company for this project.
Board, you've heard the motion from Commissioner Smith that we approve the budget ordinance. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Rich, for all you do.
Much obliged.
He's doing a lot. Thank you.
Thanks.
The next item is select ordinance A1 and A2 to include the fire station project. I'll yield to Commissioner Evans at this point.
Mayor Moore, I'd like to request that the board recuse me from voting on agenda item number 5.
Board, Commissioner Evans has asked to be recused from this. Is there a motion that we accept that?
I move that we accept.
Positive made a motion. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Commissioner Evans will not be engaged in any vote and or conversation during item number 5. Chris, will I have to go back and bring you back and just bring you back? Good deal. Want to make it sure. Item number 5, Mr. Oates. I think you got this. Is that correct?
That's correct, thank you. At the last special call meeting of the board, we discussed the bids that were received for the Farmville Fire Department project. They're included in your package tonight. You'll see the bid tabulation sheet. There was a base bid amount for the station project, and then you'll note that there were 3 add alternates that were included. Add alternate A1 was a metal roof, A2 were glass bay doors, and A3 were the awnings above the bays. And so what we need to do at this point, as we're continuing to finalize and focus in on determining the project cost, the board needs to make a decision on if we're going to include any of the add alternates into the project. We received a letter that's a part of the packet from the architects. The recommendation from them and from the staff at this point will be to include add alternates A1 and A2, which are the metal roof and the glass doors. At this time, we would recommend for budget consideration to hold off on A3, which would be the awnings. The thought there being that, that's something in the awnings that we could come back and certainly, would want to add to the building. We could do that down the line. Maybe even potentially if there's some contingency funds maybe left over later in the project, we could accomplish that with contingency funds that are left. But for the budget purposes and for what we really need to do right now in the building, the architect staff's recommendations would be to go with alternates A1 and A2. And we have Devontae Musard with the architecture firm that we're working with here tonight. She's the one who provided the letter that's included as a part of your packet. So I'll be glad to take any questions as well as Devontae this time if you have any questions on the recommendation.
Board, this has been discussed heavily over the past few days. I think you'll agree with that. I think Commissioner Oates, firemen have been consulted on it. And at this time, what we're asking for, what the town is asking you, the town manager is asking you to recommend to add alternates 1 and 2 and hold off on number 3. Discussion. A motion.
I'll make a motion to add alternates 1 and 2 as proposed.
Board, you've heard the motion to add alternate 1 and alternate 2 to the motion as we move forward with the fire station. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Commissioner Evans, you're on break. This brings us down to item 6. Justin, this needs just a little detail of explaining and you take your time with this.
Sure.
What we're talking about is approval of the finance terms for the fire station project.
So, what we're looking for this evening, as you know, is a part of the local government commission application, which this board met on to approve, authorize that application back in July. What we're looking for now as a part of that process, we went out and solicited, we had an RFP for banks to submit a proposal on the finance portion of this. We received 3 proposals. And the information on those proposals has been included in the memorandum to you this evening. Just to clarify, I want to make sure we're all clear on this. Any action on this portion tonight does not commit the town to anything financially at this point. What we are simply doing at this point is that we received approval from the local government commission at their meeting in September. We are saying that we are going to go with this particular bank to handle the financing for the project. But again, we're not committing anything financially at this time. Based off the proposals that we received, the best bid that we did receive was from First Bank. It was a 15-year term at 4.65% fixed rate. The other bid, second bid we received, was Truist. They were a 15-year at 4.69%. And we also had Southern Bank come in with a 15-year term at 5.35%. Additionally, you see to the right column there are the additional fees. First Bank's was set at not to exceed $5,000 for documentation and legal fees. Truist was at $8,500. Southern Banks was at $15,000. So, based off of the proposals that we received, the staff would recommend that we go with First Bank for the financing of the fire station project.
Would you, letting this come from you on the prepay, that there is no penalty if we pay that far early?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Board, discussion.
Was 15 years the longest term?
Yes, that's the longest, and that's with everything out of the LGC 15 will be as far as they will let you go out on that.
Next question, any discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we authorize the financing of the Farmville Fire Station project for First Bank.
Commissioner Flanagan has made a motion that we accept the resolution authorizing the financing of the project through First Bank. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Commissioner Flanagan, thank you for that. That brings us down to discussion on credit card fees. Now, Mr. Oates, is this you?
This is big.
All right.
So at the budget workshop that we had back in May, there was a discussion based off of the credit card fees in which the town is having to incur each year. There's a typically about a 3 to 4% fee in which the town has to incur for each person who comes to town hall to pay for, be it utility payment, inspections, you name it, anything that comes in. We're paying anywhere between 3 to 4% on each of those transactions. And this past year, fiscal year 24-25, that fee, the fees for the town grew to roughly about $55,000 in which we were paying. So that was noted as a part of the discussion during our budget workshop, and staff was instructed to research the possibility of instituting credit card use fees for the town. So just to be clear, this would apply only to credit cards. If you were to come into town hall and you were to make a payment using your debit card, that's just the same as writing a check. There would not be a fee assessed to a debit card. This would strictly refer just to the credit card usage. But we did some research and we found that in North Carolina, the limit to which you can charge a percentage service charge is 4%. However, we found that Visa limits it at 3%. And so, based off the conversations we have, we thought that the best thing to do is to stick at the 3% maximum that Visa imposes, as we do accept Visa here at the town. Just running some very rough calculations, if we were looking at the numbers from last year, 24-25, as we mentioned, we were looking at roughly $55,000 in credit card fees that we were taking on. If we were to knock that, if we were to institute a 3% on that 55,000, we could recoup up to about $44,000 of that 55,000 that we had to pay in credit card fees as the town. That would be passed on into the consumer who uses a credit card here to make payments to the town. Just checking, just in this past month, there were 539 credit card transactions with the town, totaling nearly $1,000 in fees just in the first month of the year. And that's for a combination of utility payments, building inspections, you name it, it all went into the system. So what we would recommend to the board, or if we were would like to move forward with instituting any charges, we would recommend it be at the 3% so that we stay, within the limits of North Carolina statute as well as what Visa requires. Now, if we do that, there is a bit of a rollout period with that. We would have to provide customers with a 30-day notice, but we're also anticipating to get this rolled out. We're talking about 60 to 90 days to work with our vendors to get this fully rolled out. But just want to present this information to you at this time. If you have any questions, we'll be glad to take those.
Where you want from us is guidance.
Correct.
Okay. Board, 3%, $44,000. You go to the drugstore to get ice cream, they got a little charge. You go to the laundry, they got a little charge. So I don't know if y'all run into it, but it's certainly out there. Discussion, any comments, anything we might be able to offer. I think this falls pretty much with you and the finance department to finalize this and bring it to us. But are there any questions?
May I ask a couple of questions? What percentage of our electrical customers use the credit cards today?
We would have to check on that. I was not able to get those numbers this afternoon. We can dig deeper to see if we can break that out, but that was not able to get that information as of the meeting this evening. So.
$55,000 worth anyway.
Anything else, Commissioner Smith?
No.
Anybody else have a question?
While you're digging, I'm just interested in what the average fee is that they're paying with the credit card. So is it a
I believe it's
bill or $500 bill? I'm saying, what is the cost that the people are paying with their credit card?
So you're saying when they're coming in to make a payment,
Pay a bill, what is the average cost of that bill?
an average utility bill, essentially? Is that what you're looking for? Okay.
And the reason I ask that is, we also had a discussion of whether or not implementing this would reduce the amount of payments that we receive, and so the net's out to a loss for the town. So just curious, what is 3% of what?
Anybody else? Is that all the guidance you need?
At this time, if the board would like us to do more research, which, I can certainly go and pull this information that Commissioner Smith and Commissioner Flanagan are looking for. If the board would like to, wait until we provide this additional information to them to take any action, that's fine. At this point, we were bringing this to you all as information at request. We do not have to take any action this evening. Just be noted that, if the board wants to take action on this, they can do so, but we're looking at least a 30-day, window to let people know, and then probably 60 to 90 to actually roll it out.
Okay.
I would prefer more data.
Okay. That's fine.
Is it reasonable to think we could have that before the next meeting?
I think we can probably get that data for the next meeting, like something we can probably pull pretty easily.
All right, good enough. That brings us down to citizen comment. Folks, y'all had a lot here tonight. It's been a lot. It's been a good meeting, and anybody got any question about anything you've heard here tonight? Any questions? Please come up and identify yourself for the camera, and we'd love to have you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hardy-Bragg. I have a question for you, Mr. Oaks, just a clarification about these numbers we just spoke about. What I heard you say was that in the last month, you were already at $1,000 of the payments being made?
Yeah, we're
Or
roughly.
the fee, right?
Yeah, roughly, yes. Mm-hmm. based off of what the total, the percentage is based off of what the total amount would be. So I think that's where there's going to be different, you may have, higher amount of purchases in a different month. So we may come back next month and it may not be exactly $997. It may be based off of how expensive the purchases are. If we have, a certain amount, just for example, if you have, $5,000 worth of charges come in one month and then $10,000 the next month, the fees that come in are going to be higher that month, which you have the $10,000.
So it sounds like there's a lot of inconsistency with how much is paid each month.
Well, it's based off of a percentage that is set already, and Amy or Ryan maybe have told me the exact percent that Tyler has costed us. But yeah, the percentage is going to stay consistent. The difference is going to be the amount that is charged to.
Yeah.
Amy?
It also doesn't include repeat county taxes. When people start paying taxes, the amount of the fees go up post months. And so that was started off with.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got a laundry list. Anybody else have anything for the good of the town on board? Dr. Hobbs? Mr. Evans? Ms. Shack?
I'm good.
Ms. Smith?
No, I'd like to thank the town employees, particularly Mr. Ellis. I know he has a lot of hard work doing what he does. And I've also given him an additional list of properties that I think need a little attention, so thank you very much.
Mr. Blanket? A few things. First of all, Justin, before I go through my laundry list, now you have a man. I'd like to give you an opportunity to say a few words, if you feel like that you're comfortable with it, now that you are the new town manager.
All right, well, I appreciate it, Mayor. First off, thank you very much to the board for going through this interview process. It's been a very good process. I've worked with you guys for a number of years. Going back to when I started here at the town in 2019. We like to joke that I went on a brief vacation for a bit then in Pamlico County, but glad to be back here, and I really appreciate the vote of confidence that the board has shown in me to appoint me full time to this position. And I look forward to working with the staff. Like, we have great staff here, and look forward to working with them, and look forward to continuing to work with the public. And if anybody ever needs anything, my door's always open. You always give me a call, but I do look forward to working with everyone here in the town and continue to work with the board.
Thank you. With that being said, we meet August 25th, 5:30. Street dedication this Thursday will be dedicated to Mr. Ed Davenport. And for those of you that have only been in Farmville for a short while, Mr. Ed Davenport pretty much built this town. And I think Commissioner Smith will attest to that he pioneered the industry that came to Farmville, which created 5 or 6 neighborhoods. But we will dedicate Library Street, which is no longer be Library Street, and but that street will now be R.L. Davenport Street. Saturday morning, 9:30 or 10 o'clock or so. I urge you to be on the town common. We are going to unveil a clock that has caused a lot of conversation today, and I am excited about that. And it was all done with private funds, and that's even greater. So it's going to be a lot going on. For those of you that were in town today, you saw the caravan that come through. The report on that our town is clean and our town looks good. And on behalf of the town farm, I thank all the employees for making it that way. Wes, the crew done a good job. We thank you. Appreciate it. With that being said, is there a motion to adjourn? Dr. Hobbs made a motion that we adjourn. All in favor say aye. Thank y'all for coming.